What's up, guys? Here with my man G Walker doing a special podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people where they can find you at, my man.
What's going on, everybody? This is G Walker from the CNG Podcast. You can find the platform on Facebook, CNG Podcast, Twitter or X, CNG Podcast, and YouTube, along with my co-partners and my co-hosts, Alan and CJ.
My man, excited to chop it up with you. Kind of the downtime of Bears off season right now, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about. It's been a busy off season, a really fun off season, and I think it's about to be a new era of Bears football. Go ahead and is there anything in particular for you that stands out about this off season, or any thoughts you have about the Bears 2025 off season?
Yeah, man, the fact that they went out there and got the pretty girl from the prom and Ben Johnson. They got the prettiest girl in the prom and got her, man, and took her home. You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of speculation that, we might get Mike McCarthy or Pete Carroll, and I was one of the people. I was like, well, I don't know, man. He's kind of young, on the young side. I want somebody a little bit more established that's put a team together for us, an offense, and groom the quarterback. And McCarthy, he was one of the guys that he helped out, Brett Favre. He's helped out Aaron Rodgers to a certain extent, and he had Dak. So I'm thinking, like, I know a lot of people don't like McCarthy, but we can't just keep getting guys that are younger. You know what I mean? Like, Ben Johnson's never done it before. You know what I mean? So I was like, as a Bear fan, like, I'm really, really skeptical on that. But the fact that they actually got him, I like the fact that he's blunt, he's direct, he's competitive, he's in your face. He told Caleb Williams from the jump at the very first press conference, like, hey, man, I like you, but it's going to take more than you to get this done. So I was really impressed by that, man, to let him know, like, it takes more than one person. You know what I mean? One band, one sound, and nobody's but a team.
Yeah, man, 100%. And I think Ben Johnson is the guy. He's the real deal. I've heard some people actually compare him to Matt Nagy, and it's one of those things where it's like Matt Nagy never called plays. Ben Johnson at the highest level has been successful, and he's been one of the better and more creative play callers that the NFL's seen over the last decade. I'm really excited for what Ben Johnson brings to the table. And then that was probably the biggest move of the offseason, but then we also added help to the offensive line, completely rebuilt the interior of that offensive line, added some more talent in the draft. Do you have a favorite move either in free agency or do you have a favorite move in free agency or out of those trades?
It was a whole thing, man. Like the whole free agency, man. The fact that, Ryan Poles has not been able to get an offensive line put together the whole time he's been here. And Ben Johnson comes here pretty much in his first try, and he gets Drew Dahlman, he gets Tunney, he gets all these guys that are solid guys, a top 5 center from Atlanta. You know what I mean? Then we get the big 6'8", as I call him, a baby polar bear in Ozzy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then we still got Karan, who didn't really get a chance because he got hurt, and Chris Morgan was here. So it was like, it's beautiful to see that they invested in the trenches right away, because that's the only way Caleb Williams is only going to be able to maximize his potential to break all the ceiling here as the Chicago Bears quarterback. So I love it, man. The trades, who did we trade for? I think it was
Jonah Jackson.
Jonah Jackson. So it's like he's getting guys that's done it in his system before. So it's a breath of fresh air, because the offensive line has been a problem for so long. Caleb Williams had 68 sacks last season, man, running for his life. So that looks to be like that's showed up here in the offseason already, man. So I'm ready to see what these guys are going to be able to do when come week 1.
Man, 100%. And he took that many sacks, and he avoided the most sacks in the NFL. If he wouldn't have avoided so many sacks, he could have got sacked triple-digit times, which is crazy. Our offensive line and our scheme last year, all of it was just a mess. So I'm really hoping that not just Ben Johnson, but Ben Johnson paired with the additions to this offensive line are going to make a big, big difference for what we see out of Caleb Williams this season. That's one of my biggest reasons for excitement. But I will say this, I am really excited about this rookie class, man. You mentioned Ozzy Trapillo, you got Luther Burden, you got Colston Loveland. This is a class that's just stacked and really talented. And I even like our 7th round pick, Kyle Monungai, a lot, man. Do you have a favorite rookie from this year's class, or one of those picks that you're really excited to see play this season?
I'm looking forward to see what Colston Loveland really is, man. To take a tight end at number 10, you have to be generational. And from what I've seen from a lot of his college tape is that he can beat defensive linemen, he can beat linebackers, he can beat safety. So he's a 3-level tight end that can go vertical downfield. So I'm really, really ready to see him come training camp. I know he hurt his shoulder and all that other stuff. So, but he was my favorite just because we might have our own elite tight end here. Our Sam Laporta 2.0. So I'm really hyped to see what he can do, come training camp on July 19th and, the summer, dog days of summer get here. So I like Colston Loveland and I like Ozzie. He's 6'8", man. They say he's almost 7 feet with cleats on. So that's something that you can't move. He's like, he got big arms. He's athletic. He's not sloppy. You know what I mean? So as long as his feet are just as good as his hands and he can lock and he can disengage pretty well and he's mobile, I'm hype about that, man. We might have our left tackle for the next 6 to 8 years,
Yeah, he's a guy who, I mean, when you talk about a guy who can anchor and you're not going to bull rush through him, that's Ozzie Trapillo. He is that guy to a T. I'm excited to see him in training camp once the pads come on. These guys really start hitting. See what he looks like against Montez Sweat, against some of these other pass rushers, especially those joint practices against the Bills and the Dolphins. They have some better pass rushers as well. I want to see him, how he looks in those and the preseason. I'm excited for him, man. But big names there. And that's, I got to throw the name out of Shamar Turner as well. He's a guy who I think he's going to line up all over this defensive line and fans are going to love him. And Luther Burden, man, he is a highlight reel machine. I think he might even be a guy who comes on slow. Maybe him and Colston Loveland both do because we have Cole Kmet. We have a ton of talent in the wide receiver room as well. DJ Moore, Romo Dunze. People are forgetting about Olamide Zaccheaus, who's a really good slot receiver who, if Luther Burden ends up holding out, it's going to make it tougher for him to get on the field and make an immediate impact. But long-term, Luther was one of my favorite players in the draft. So I think he's going to be an absolute steal in the second round. And eventually, him and Romo Dunze are probably going to be one of the best wide receiver duos the Bears have ever had. So I'm excited about that long term. But rookie season, man, a lot to see from these guys. And I hope Loveland is healthy for training camp. That's something to keep an eye on as well.
Yeah, because I like Luther Burden, man. Like, Luther's cool. And like you said, only thing I want to see about these high profile rookies is just, eventually cream rises to the top, man. No matter what. DJ Moore can be there all he wants to, but we will eventually see the kids talent like, yo, we might be able to get, a lot of people love DJ Moore, and I don't know about DJ as far as his attitude sometimes. People might say, you overblowing them. But when it comes to the chemistry of a team, and when it comes to actually in the trenches, you can't have a guy crying and whining and turning his back around the field because you're dependent on as that number one wide receiver. You know what I mean? So if that stuff starts to happen and Luther looks like he got the stronger personality, like they look like they're almost the same as far as receivers, kind of compact, not too tall. It looks like a mirroring image. Does that look that same way to you a little bit?
He does have some DJ Moore in him. And I will say he did have some diva in him in Missouri. But I will say one thing about Ben Johnson is he's going to bring the best out of both DJ Moore, Romo Dunze, and Luther Burden. They're going to be competing for targets, and they're going to be fighting to get on the field because, and he said it himself, no block, no rock. So
no block, no rock, baby.
They're going to have to go out there and block, and then they'll get their opportunities in the passing game. So there won't be an opportunity for them to be divas. And most of DJ Moore's career, I'll say he hasn't been a diva. And I am a big fan of DJ, so I won't give up on him yet. But I will say with Rome and Luther here, the writing's on the wall. DJ eventually DJ is going to be looking for a new home, or he's going to be riding out his career in Chicago and not getting a new contract. But he could always retire. He's here for a few more years. He did get that recent extension, second one. So he's here for a bit. I love that guy, man.
Yeah, we need him, man. No matter how many people, how I feel about DJ, man, when it's week 1 Monday Night Football, no matter how I feel about DJ and his attitude, I do not give a damn, bro. DJ, I need you out there catching touchdowns and catches, bro. We could talk all this. Oh, he's a deep. I don't care when it comes week 1. I don't care when it's the first quarter and we need a 3rd and 6, bro. I do not care. We can talk about all that personality stuff after the season, But to then, bro, DJ, let's lock in, bro. Get some wins.
Yeah, and I think Romo Dunze is a perfect example of a guy who doesn't have that diva mentality in him, and he's going to go out there and work hard and set that example. If DJ does the same thing, Luther Burden can set back and learn from those two guys, and the sky's really the limit for Luther Burden and Romo Dunze. I'm a huge Rome fan, so our wide receiver room and our tight end room is just crazy. No disrespect to Cole Kmet, but Colston Loveland's upside is also just through the roof.
Yeah, and I see where Cole Kmet's going to be the under the zone tight end, and then
inline blocking.
He's going to be the guy that the safety net under the zone and all the coverage, and you're going to see Colston Loveland everywhere beyond the linebacker, beyond the corner, beyond the safety. He's going to be getting out there vertical, bro. So Cole Kmet, writing's on the wall for you too, bro. I hate to say it, but it's going to happen too.
I feel it, man. So with all that being said, all the moves have been made and everything that's going on this year. The Bears have a new head coaching staff. They have some turmoil as they're going to have a bunch of new starters in the trenches. So there is the opportunity for them to get off to a slow start. We do have a tough schedule, but yes. I expect this team to compete. What are your expectations for the 2025 Chicago Bears?
I'm expecting the Chicago Bears to be an above 500 team. I'm expecting them to come out the gate not slow. Like Caleb Williams is not a rookie. DJ Moore is not a rookie. These guys are not rookie. Cole Kmet, these guys are not. Darnell Wright, none of these guys are rookies, man. It's just the fact that we put it all together. So I'm not expecting a super slow start. I'm expecting them to come out the gate firing off, man. If the offensive line is protecting Caleb Williams should be able to perform and throw the throws he needs to throw to execute. That's the thing. Like this isn't this. If you can survive 68 sacks, if you can survive 68 sacks with a terrible scheme, with a terrible play caller, but you come in and you get Ben Johnson, who's been number 3 in offense or top 5 offense in Detroit. Come on, bro. Like this should be a walk in the park as far as offense for Caleb Williams. So that's what I'm expecting, that the Chicago Bears come out of the gate more efficient, less penalties, more cohesiveness, just as a unit. And I think that's what Ben Johnson's going to bring to this team is he's going to just nail those details. Start it again, because I heard in training camp he's telling guys to start it, get it back, go back to the huddle, start over again, because repetition creates great muscle memory.
Man, yeah, and that's got me pumped up, man. To have a real head coach here, a guy who can not only call plays and get the most out of our offense, but then we have the surrounding talent around him on the coaching staff, the assistant coaches to develop the young players. So guys like Jervon Dexter can get better. Guys like Austin Booker and Tyreek Stevenson, Jaquan Brisker, all these guys are going to get better. I expect Darnell Wright to be better. Rome Odunze working with Antoine Randall L.
Yes.
And Ben Johnson. Man, he's gonna be a stud. I'm just so excited to see.
I'm not worried about Rome, man. I think Rome is going to be fantastic, man. This is going to be a breakout year for him. I think they're going to cater to him, man. Like Ben Johnson wants to go vertical. We've all seen what the limitations of DJ Moore are. He's not really a vertical guy. So you get a big 6'2", 6'3" guy. You got a big catch radius, and you can throw the ball. Ben Johnson's
got that speed.
He got that speed. He's quick, man. So I'm expecting Rome to be what he should have been last year, with a better play call in the offensive line, man. Like I'm expecting fireworks from Rome, man. I'm expecting a good turnaround from Rome this year, man. I can't wait to see him actually.
Yeah, and I think Rome would have been. I think he would have went off last year if we wouldn't have had Keenan Allen, and Keenan was soaking up all those targets. Keenan was the guy he was getting more targets than DJ a lot of times. So that offense really at times was rolling through Keenan Allen. If Rome would have been in that role, he would have ended up over 1,000 yards. So it just sometimes it's the role it plays. And Rome, I'm super excited about him, man. One of my favorite players on the team, man.
Yeah, but Keenan Allen was proven to be the best route runner on the team. We saw it. Even though he was a step slower and all that, you're going to go with the guy who's the best route runner, and nobody on that team was better than him to me. So
got to learn from him, man. Yeah,
it's the dude you learn from, and that's kind of why I want him still here. Is like I like Keenan because he was all right. Like what do you have, like 800 yards? A couple touchdowns,
700. Yeah, he was there, man.
He was there, like a couple yards off from a 1,000-yard season, man. Just because we had a bad play call and a bad coach, that's what I'm saying. So we should kind of pick up where we left off with Ben Johnson and his offensive line, his play calling scheme, and especially with Caleb's ability to throw off platform and everything like that. So I'm hyped, bro. I'm hyped.
Yeah. Me too, man. It's been really fun chopping it up with you, man. I'm going to have you back on again soon. You're welcome to come on anytime, really, man. Just let me know. But again, let the people know where they can find your podcast, where they can find you on Twitter, whatever. Make sure, guys, you like the video. Go subscribe and follow CNG Podcast as well.
You can find me, you can find G Walker along with myself and my partner CJ and Alan, CNG Podcast on Twitter. Or X, CNG Podcast on YouTube, CNG Podcast on Facebook, man. Go Bears. Can't wait. Shout out to Swifty for bringing me on, man. This was a blast, bro, and I cannot wait to talk more football with you down the road, bro.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you, my man, for real. Bear down, brother.
Bear down, man.
I appreciate everyone who watches. Stay tuned, guys. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss out. Hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.